ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe I'm about to say it, but this is going to be my movie review for Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. Now, before I say anything, ladies and gentlemen, I want to quickly say these two things. Number one, you've read it in the title, but I'm going to say it again. There's going to be no spoilers in this video, mate. I'm going to be extremely vague with the story. I will save it for my spoiler review. Probably come out in the next few days, so make sure you stick around for that. But this video is going to have no spoilers, do not worry. And number two, now, I shouldn't have to say this if you've been subbed to my channel for a while, but I'm a Star Wars fanboy, mate. So just bear that in mind. You are listening to an absolute fanboy. The franchise of Star Wars is one of my favourite things just in life of all time. It's Star Wars, mate. I shouldn't have to say anything else. Right, so let's talk about this story. Again, I've been extremely vague, mate. So Kylo Ren is now the supreme leader of the First Order, and he's basically looking for something. And Rey, Poe, Finn, Chewie, Leia, the Resistance, they're also looking for something. And yeah, that's kind of the story-ish. And if you've seen the trailers or posters, mixed in with that, you got Palpatine, mate. So there's a lot of things going on. Some is good, some not so good. We'll talk more about that a little bit later now. That is all I'm going to say for the story, mate. So sorry if you want more in depth. Just go see the movie. Now I want to talk about the characters. So Kylo Ren, he is my boy, mate. Just to clarify, Kylo Ren, for me, Kylo Ren is one of my favourite movie characters of all time. In any franchise, any movie, I love him, mate. And he is absolutely fantastic in this movie, mate. Fantastic. He is easily the best character in this movie, the best character to come out of the sequel trilogy. His story in this film is the best of the three. What they've done with Kylo Ren, I'm very, very happy, man. Adam Driver's performance in this movie is A-star, mate. When he needs to be intimidating, he is, mate. The new mask looks absolutely fantastic, but the emotional range he brings, he made the film for me, man. Adam Driver, Kylo Ren, I loved it. Next, I want to talk about Rey. Now, Daisy Ridley, once again, she brings such an emotional range to Rey. She's, again, the best, version of Rey in this sequel trilogy by far. I'm very, very pleased how they handled Rey in this film, and if you thought she was OP the other films, oh my days, mate. She's on a new level of OP, so just be ready for that. You've been warned, mate. John Boyega playing Finn. Again, man, he's the heart and soul of these movies. He's so funny. Finn in this movie, very, very good. And he shares a lot of screen time with Oscar Isaac's character, Poe Dameron. Again, man, when they're together, it's great, mate. I love it. I love the emotional side of them. I love the bickering. Those characters, they were really good. I just want to mention a few of the other characters now. Chewie in this movie, for me, he didn't do much, mate. Chewie was a little bit of a letdown. Lando's back in this film, and he was pretty good, man. He doesn't have, the most screen time, but when he's on screen, you get the nostalgic vibes. We'll talk more about the vibes later, man. JJ brought the nostalgia to a new level, mate. R2, BB-8, Rose, all those characters, they don't get, the most screen time, but for what they have, they're not too bad. I will say, though, C-3PO in this movie, they handled him very good, man. And I'm not the biggest 3PO fan, but he was very funny in this film, and I liked what they've done with the character. Now, being this is the 9th movie, they're introducing even more characters, mate. It's pretty crazy, man. I mean, the new cast, I can't even remember some of their names, if I'm being crystal clear, man. I'm just so hyped on the characters we know and love now that I can't remember their names, mate. It's so bad. I will say the new droid called Dio, he's pretty cool, man. And there's a character in this movie that interacts with C-3PO. He's amazing, mate. I want that character in my life, in real life. Right here, mate. He was great. Now, the three big characters that needed a lot of love and attention. First of all, Luke Skywalker is handled very differently in this film from the last film. I'm just going to say it now, J.J. Abrams has kind of retconned a lot of stuff from episode 8, and it's going to annoy some people. People are going to be happy about it. I'm in the middle, man. I'll be totally fair. For what screen time Luke does have, he's much better, man. I liked this version of Luke Skywalker way more than the last film. But the main two characters that I was most concerned about, first of all, was Leia. Now, it's tragic, Carrie Fisher's passing, man. It really, really is. But I got to give it to J.J. Abrams, man. He's handled this, I think, the best he could have done. He had a bunch of unused footage from The Force Awakens, and he's taken that footage and put her into these scenes and built, like, the scene around it. And to be honest, like, if you showed that to someone and they don't know anything about, like, Carrie Fisher's passing or anything, I don't think they'd notice, if I'll be honest, man. JJ done a very, very good job. Leia was handled in this film better than I expected, if I'm being honest. As for Palpatine, he's on another level, mate. Some people are going to absolutely love this version of Palpatine, and some people are just going to get the raging up, mate. So this film is pretty diverse, mate. It's not as diverse as the last movie. That seems to, like, split the fans in half, if I'm being honest. There's also, like, a lot of things I wanted answered in this movie, and I'd say like 90% of them are answered. Even if the answers are very vague, very small, like, some of the answers, they're quick, man. If you're going into this movie wanting answers for some things in the last two films, and you want a big, like, reason and explanation as to what is going on, mate, then, yeah, you might be a little bit salty. But I'd say, like, most of the stuff is answered. There is a lot of, like, new stuff in this film, especially Force powers, mate. Oh, my days. Brand new Force powers. I welcome them all, mate. I love seeing it on the big screen. JJ knows how to direct action, mate. And while I'm talking about the action, let's say it now, mate. The action is fantastic, mate. This is a proper action movie, man. Like, you don't go more than like 10 minutes without some sick action scenes. Space battles are good. Lightsaber battles were very, very good, man. Very good. All of the CGI was crisp. It all looked fantastic. Go and see this on the big screen just for that, man. If you're not even like a big Star Wars fan, just for the spectacle of what you're about to see, you need to go and see it. Also got to say, the sound, oh my days, mate. John Williams is on 10 out of 10 overdrive, mate. Just, the score in this movie is unbelievable. Pretty much every single, like, score from all the other movies is in this movie, and it's great, man. I'd say, like, the standout for me is probably the Rey theme. That theme in this film is very, very good, man. Very emotional. Now, I know I'm throwing, like, so much praise at this movie, but I did have things that I didn't like, man. And if I'm being totally fair, there's, like, 3 things that bothered me. First one's not a major one, if I'm being totally honest, but not all the jokes landed, man. No way, mate. The comedy in this movie is way, way better than The Last Jedi. It's probably on, like, the same level as The Force Awakens, but there was a few jokes that, you know, they really wanted you to make you laugh, but it just was dead, mate. It's not too much. It's like borderline nitpick, but I thought I'd mention it. However, the 2 things that I noticed that knocked the score down a little bit for me is, first of all, the editing. Wow, this film is well choppy, mate. It feels like they wrote and planned a 4-hour epic movie, and they just crushed it into, like, I don't even know what the runtime is. I think it's like 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 20 minutes, something like that. It was very, very choppy, mate. Go here, get that, gone. It was a lot of that going on. There's a lot of transitions, a lot of cuts. It was a little bit choppy, especially like the first hour. It did slow down and, like, started to relax after about an hour or so, but it was still there, man. It was definitely one of the more, like, choppy Star Wars films. Part of the reason of that is picking up after episode 8. I mean, Rian Johnson, if you love him or hate him, but where he left The Last Jedi in the story, it was, I imagine it was not easy, mate. J.J. Abrams must have had a hard time, like, picking that up, fixing it, making a new story, and ending the story, and ending the entire 9 films Skywalker saga. That's no joke, mate. That is proper. I just kind of wish there was, like, a 4th film. I know it's like, you know, a trilogy, 3 trilogies, whatever, but there's a lot in this film, man. Like, so much information. It does feel like, it just felt very, very choppy, man. You knew, like, it had to get somewhere quick time and do all these things, fix it and end it. It was choppy. I know I've said it 100 times now. The film was choppy, mate. And finally, like, the last 20 minutes, 15 minutes, I can see it pissing off a lot of people, mate. Now, I'm not going to spoil what it is, but it's something we've never seen in Star Wars ever, mate. And I just think, like, those last 20 minutes is going to split the people in 3. You're either going to absolutely hate it, or you're going to love it, or you're just going to think, you know, it's alright, it done the job, and you weren't, like, insulted by it. I think I'm that third person. I didn't love it, but I definitely didn't hate it, man. I'm in the middle, man. So, yeah, overall, this was a good movie, man. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if you're a critic or if you're, like, a general person or fan, whatever. I don't care. This is my opinion. giving it straight to you guys, as honest as I can be. I'm a Star Wars fanboy, mate. I'm sitting here in a Star Wars hat, Star Wars t-shirt, Star Wars pants. They're not Star Wars pants, but if I owned some, I'd wear them. This movie wasn't this train wreck ending that everyone's saying. It weren't, mate. Just don't listen. Go in there with your own opinion, mate. Blank out everything else. At the time of this recording, Rotten Tomatoes is at 57%. And that's pretty low, man. That's very, very low for a Star Wars movie. But just remember, The Last Jedi split the fan base in half, mate. Some people think it's like the worst movie ever made. But on Rotten Tomatoes, it's 91%. So that's why I just don't care what other critics say. As for the people that are saying like it's the worst film in the Star Wars franchise, you are tripping, mate. Do not tell me this movie is worse than Solo. Just don't even go there, mate. To be honest, like, the way some people are with these films, it's just properly upsetting, man. It just becomes this, like, hype and trend. Once one person says, I don't like it, mate, it's the worst I've ever seen, mate, then suddenly all the little leeches, all the little vultures, they swoop in, they slug their way in, and then they start hating as well. It's kind of funny, that is, because I remember, like, it happened with the prequels, mate. The same goddamn thing. I love and adore the OG trilogy. They're the masterpieces, mate. But my childhood, my upbringing was with the prequels. I love those films, man. You can't tell me anything bad about the prequels. I love them. And it's happening again, mate. I love it. Everyone around me hates it. But it's funny, like, because in time, all these other Star Wars fans, suddenly, they all love the prequels now. So, yeah. It's just one of those things. I think in time, the same thing's going to happen, mate. The same thing will happen with the sequel trilogy as it did with the prequel trilogy. To be honest, I noticed it happen with Rogue One. Rogue One came out and I was blown away, mate. I mean, Rogue One is a really good film. And everyone thought it was a good film. And then, like, suddenly, a year later, some people started saying, like, it's a little bit boring, isn't it? Eh. People's opinions change. And do not let anyone's opinion fool you into thinking, like, something's bad just because it's trendy or whatever. If you love Star Wars or you're a casual fan of Star Wars and you can appreciate a good action movie, go and see this movie. Watch it with your own opinion. Just don't worry about anyone else, mate. If you really hate this movie, like it's the worst thing your eyes have ever seen, then I give you total respect, man, and the opposite as well. If you go and see this movie and you think it's the best Star Wars film ever made, total respect to you again. As for me, this was a very, very good movie, man. It wasn't the best. It definitely was not the worst. I don't think it was as good as The Force Awakens. I definitely think it was better than The Last Jedi. Overall, I'm very happy, man. It definitely had things I did not like, but it had way more things I did like. And for that reason, I'm going to give The Rise of Skywalker 8 nerds out of 10. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is my spoiler-free review of The Rise of Skywalker. Have you seen it? Are you going to see it? Let me know, man. Let's have a Star Wars chat, a discussion in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. May the Force be with you. Remember, you will subscribe.